Hello boys, it's equally Yoshi. Welcome back to my 100% blind playthrough of Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, the Tower of Doom. In the last video, we left off in the already very tough freemium mode of the game. This is level 2 of freemium mode, and now we're just gonna go through and dent this enemy and just make our way to the top. What else can I say? Not much else. This one has a Cirque we can potentially get, so we're going for it over the other battle.
Can we decide this after a nap?
Alright.
Yawn. All right. Yeah. Okie dokie.
Alright. I know this is a very tanky enemy, so we'll probably need a few else to deal with her. Mario, you're gonna move over here. Let's get a better shot at the enemies. Alright. Out of the 4 battles we could have gotten, this is one of the easier ones we could have gotten. I could have maybe gone for a Luigi, but it was another one, Destroy the Darkness Eyes battle, and I didn't want to take another 15 minutes. And also, we don't really need any extra characters when we have all the characters already.
Alright.
Good. Missed. Okay, that works.
Yawn.
Alright, someone's gonna have to take... or take the hit, rather. I'm gonna have Mario do it. Then we'll heal if Rabbid Peach to immediately get back the health we just lost. Okay, I know how annoying the lone wolves are. Someone will have to take that out first, or at least attempt to do so. I'll have it Rose try to hit it a bit first. Good. Allowed me to instantly kill him. Now we need to have Rabid Rose just now you're at the remaining enemy.
Seriously? Let's go.
Alright. And dash the other enemies. By the way, I will say, I hope this doesn't get too repetitive to you, but there's not a lot we can do here. We have to just deal with the fact that we're gonna have to have this segment like this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I just barely missed that. Not sure how great that was.
Can I do this later?
It wasn't really bad, but it also wasn't really the best. We got Seshat Master, though. Seshat Master isn't really the greatest summon, so it's probably one we're not going to level up. Also, our characters all got level 5. We also got a Star Potion, but only one. We use that on Starburst, of course, for the extra attack. I don't know if I want minions to interfere with the battle segment, so I'm gonna have Viz grab this. I mean, Peach grab that. And then we'll level up our other AoEs. And I should also maybe move some of them around. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get Gargantua Fan upgraded first, since he has the most damage out of the three. And Mario will get his Sarks upgraded as well. And that'll be probably the last upgrades we do. The others will be stuck at level 4, but that's fine. They probably don't need that. If for some reason I need, like, Bust or something else, I could level that up as well. And of course we need our Orb Vein. Well, actually, we need to customize our characters. And this is where we, change our Veins up a bit. I don't actually want to have Spark Energy. Instead, I want to have Spark Refresher instead. And from there, we just need to go for HP, honestly. And some small glide boost that we can get. Mario, I'm going to do the change that I specifically mentioned I would do with him. Again doesn't really work well in this battle, so we'll do a full trade on it, exchanging it for Jump Shot instead. And some weapon range, and that's all Mario's going to get. And then Rabbit Rose will do probably the biggest switch of them all, so we'll just deactivate all the prisms to make it nice and easy to get ready. And get the uni talents, plus get HP up. Then for the remaining talents, we're not going to go for any extra boost at all, so it'll be a bit weaker damage-wise, but the idea is you can still hopefully take, not set the fertile anyway. I think I might even give her the boost instead, so she can deally destroy stuff. Anyway, we'll give her movement range and some glide range to help out with that. And now, Miz actually has the full uni build ready. We can't use the dash on the Bind bosses to stun lock, but we can still use the stuff to stun lock. And now we go for the actual strategy. So compared to popular belief strategy, we're going to sell a majority of the items we have, except for 2 healing items. I will also include the health feint on the list, because I don't think it really works well. And then we're going to get exactly 2 iron tapis and the rest cooldown clocks. Believe me, this is very important this time. We definitely have a lot more cooldown clocks and better setup, so the battle should be a guaranteed win now. It's whether or not we have to take a pot match at the portal. And I don't want to waste time, so let's see what it is. And I think it's a good thing that I fit it up, because it's the worst of the giant bosses we could probably hope for. It's the giant depleter. This is definitely one we do not want to deal with normally. This guy is massive range, and it's just a massive pain in the butt to deal with, let me tell you. Let's see what his minions are first, so we can figure out. There's a medic nav in there, and we don't have stuff, so we need to defeat it first. That would be our priority alternate target. Our next priority would probably have to be this guy. It's the Gust Summoner. So that means, let's try... Wait. Actually. No, we have a wire dude, but he's also gonna bet Nashed right away anyway. I don't know, actually. We'll have to certainly go closer to this giant depleter guy, though. Yeah, of all the enemies, giant depleter is the one I definitely did not want to see. Alright, I am gonna do a small slap. Other doesn't seem really useful for other stuff, and we need a for something. So I'm gonna give that to Rose over Flame, and we'll give this over the AoE. Because if I set her up at the AoE thing, will just destroy the cover, but if we set it up like that, we can take pot shots to destroy the portals potentially instead. And then we'll have to just keep his attacks the same, and... Oh, great. We don't have a close enough range to even hit this guy, so... I guess we won't reset for a 150% damage buff, because we're not going to even get it, even if we tried.
I was gonna read.
Well, since Rabbit Peach isn't going to do much, let's try using it anyway. Okay, not bad. Fortunately, we don't really have a good setup for to use our stuff. I'll go ahead and just hit this bomb, I guess. I don't know what else to do. Figure if I get that out of the way, it won't bother me later. Alright. This is certainly a different battle than before. The other last couple of times we did the battle, we didn't have the same range problem or side problem issues to deal with, but now we have a protector, a side protector, and also a guy that can literally AoE from 15 feet across the map. And he has counters too, so he's already one of the most tedious enemies to deal with. We'll have to try and bait some of the other enemies to come to us, I don't know. Well, since Rabbit Rose is not going to really be able to do anything this turn. So I figured out a little bit more on the cooldown clock setup. I think, personally, from my own standing, If I use a cooldown clock later or earlier in one of the other turns, now that I have Uni that lasts for 2 turns instead of just 1, and set it up perfectly, I think I can actually set up a better cooldown clock thing to happen. So I won't have the same issue of the cooldown clock going off and like wasting time.
Oh yeah.
Either way though, wow, I honestly don't know what to do with this battle from here. I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of don't know what to do with this battle. Because obviously the range game is gonna be really bad to play. But also the other normal range game is also gonna be terrible to play. So figuring out what to do with here, that's the real confusion part. Ugh. I think, since we have a free turn to do stuff, I'm gonna play the safe route that I wanted to initially play when I first did this. It's just now with the extra meter thing out, we can do a bit more damage to the enemies over doing nothing. Alright, Viv's sacrificed her turn to do other stuff, but we'll dash to remove this, though. Yeah, we're going quite aggressive at Vez here. Oh, cool. She still has triple toe. Alright, good. That's perfect. I'll attack you.
Alright.
Okay, good. We wanted to defeat that enemy for sure, because if we didn't, it's just gonna keep on doing other stuff. The next thing I probably want to do is, not unstun the giant depleter, but defeat the summoner enemy. Then we'll eventually be able to set up our move. Oh, never mind, we won't be doing that. Because apparently the portals are here, and they're gonna say, no, you're not going to do anything. Instead, you're gonna attack us, or we're gonna completely destroy you. I don't want to be completely destroyed, obviously. Now, the portals seem to have kind of a weird spawn rate, I will say that much. They spawn based off of, basically, wherever players and enters may have gone. Alright. I moved out of the way so that any of us could do this. That was not a great setup at all. We did not get a lot of AoE. Alright, well, there's Issa stray a portal now. Use frostbite attacks or attacks do slightly more damage. I also had to mention, since Rabbids was not a attacks, she may not defeat the fertile in one anymore. That's the only difference, but we can still take shots at it as we go.
Well.
Okie dokie.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that helped out a bit. Alright. So, the strategy that was mentioned with the infinite loop setup mentions using Uni and doing other stuff, but I think for my personal game to change and do stuff better for the better, I think instead of doing attack C1, 2, 3, we could use attack and then cooldown during one of our turns when we don't actually use any other attacks. Okay, we're gonna have our characters set up here so they can be closer to the enemies, because we want to be able to fire down at them. But anyways, we're finally ready to start DPSing the boss down. We definitely need to do as much damage as fast as we can now.
Oh yeah!
If you're wondering why we're not using our sparks, we save them specifically for the portals in this scenario. But anyways, here's my idea. First, we need to actually, well, fill all of our attacks first. On our depleter boy over here. And this is also where we want to use our attacks. So, you know what? Let's burn a turn with but not the attack one to try Strongman. Probably should have done that first. Alright, cool. That gives us a 150% damage boost. As the attack will do more damage. We'll use the attack with Rabbit Peach first. And then Rabbit Rose will check to make sure she's in range. Then we'll have her attack. Specifically this enemy. That does a lot more damage, and then we can use Inui to put the turns to sleep. But in between one of the turns, we could just pass, which effectively gives us a free attempt to shoot at the portal. So instead of using right away and doing the other attacks, what we're going to do instead is use cooldown clock now to reset our cooldowns in one of our attacks. And then
Yawn.
The second turn we'll just take shots at the different portals. Do as much damage as we can. And this is also where we use our boosted abilities, so we can do more damage. I'm gonna actually have... Pink Rabbit Peach needs to apply a buff to guarantee that Mario takes it out. Oh, perfect, the start cooldown reset. That's ideally what we want to see out of Rabbit Peach. So she can use that along with a different ability. I just realized Mario has a better cooldown pot, so he's probably the better one to use Strongman on. Anyway, we'll attack this now. And we're doing that so we can remove the portals right away. And then we just pass the next turn again. And we pretty much do this infinitely each time so that when the enemies respawn in, we can do a big turn to damage them all and still have Rose use the Inui turret. The original strategy was to have Rose just use a pop-down, cooldown clock, and immunity on the same turn to keep it going, but with the full immunity build, you can actually be a lot safer in the battle. And we definitely need to do this because this time we have a giant depleter to worry about. If he ever breaks out of his attack, then he's definitely going to do a lot of damage. We don't want that. Mario, you're going to use a Strongman. It ended up being weak, but that's fine. Mario's going to do her own buff. Peach is going to do her own buff. This is a good reason to have Spark Burst by the end of the game, because it really helps you do a lot of damage. And we're using as many of these buffs as we can to hopefully get a lot of good damage. Alright, now should be just Rabbit Rose. We need to make sure we constantly hit the enemies like this too. Okay, good. We're dealing some good damage to Giant Depleter so far. Now we get the portals again. We're gonna use cooldown clock on this turn. We don't have a AoE set up. We should try and set up an AoE that doesn't hit. It will hit the. We don't want to hit the depleter. If we do need to accidentally let a portal summon because of it, Mario better be ready with Arge to be able to immediately destroy that portal when it comes up, or even an extra stun man to guarantee that. Actually, does Peach have a better... No, not to know, she does not. Alright, we need to guarantee that this portal is toast, for sure. This is the only problem with the boost up. If we don't have the raw damage with those to outright take out a portal instead of doing the combo, we'll have to let the enemy spawn in then, which could be a bit problematic. So we'd have to hope that Mario's Hero Shot defeats it instead. That's actually the idea why I left it up. Oh wow, it still didn't... That's bad. Someone's gonna take damage. And we get another minion in an crazy battle. Jeez, that was our fiddle this time. Because we didn't defeat them right away. We can clean up the weaker enemies with dashes, thankfully. So we'll do that right off the bat. In fact, I can force a shot from Mario to take out the other enemy. And... dash out of it. Oh, okay, never mind. That didn't work really much. Alright, we'll go back to the normal spot that Viz is normally doing. Alternatively, I could actually attack the boss a bit earlier than this segment. That way the wake-up slap applies. Though the problem is we keep getting portals that ruin our setup. Alright, I can't use the safety thing because of what happened. So we're gonna heal first. We'll attack normally. Because Mario had to use Heal Sight, we won't use Strong Man this turn, but we still have plenty of turns. Cooldown clock still. Then Viz will attack and use Nap Time. I think, because of the setup I haven't heard, I might have to do the full nap setup again, unfortunately. And yes, I call this Nap Time instead of Uni just because it's easier. Yeah, so those are consistently spawning every other turn. I can't afford to not have a cooldown used, so we have to use something on Yiz and try to go for the one shot. Even that doesn't work. You know what? I just realized how to solve it. Instead of using Turtle Charge for damage buffs, I should use it to try and get, guarantee that the portals die. That's probably gonna end up being better in the long run. And now, Niz takes a shot at that portal. Then, because we don't have set up, Rabbids could just fire at Peach, and Mario could just both fire at this portal. I can do that. I think that's honestly the safest way of playing it. Just waste the extra damage, but in turn still get a good amount of damage returned. Alright, the big difference now is because we didn't use the right setup, we're gonna have to use a cooldown clock. But honestly, this might work better. Rose won't do much except using Uni, but Joel will be able to get a free turn to take pot shots to the portal. Everyone else does their stuff. And, oh great, I just realized I did not set that up properly. I was not supposed to use that right away. Whoops, let's just pass the turn to fix that. Now we have to use our buff. see if Mario can just one-shot this ever portal. Good, we'll use it to one-shot that portal and... Oh, wait. Oh yeah, I tapped basically. Because I wanted to use a cooldown clock right away. There we go. Now we have a better turn set up. Yeah. Of course, every other turn we'll have to alternate this so that we still destroy his stuff done. This looks like a really weird setup, but believe me, it works, and it's gonna be important. I should actually get rid of the air thing. This is gonna really mess up my game later if I don't delete this now. So because we have the free turn and our electric fiend would normally damage the stuff, I'm just gonna blow it to have these barrels fire off instead. We'll of course have to make sure that Peach is not in the range of the attacking bubble. Let's actually check that. It's like right there, so this is where I would need to be. Alright, so I'll go like this. This is gonna remove some of our cover, but the idea is we'll get rid of some outside enemies. And also remove that fiend so it doesn't interfere when I later go to use our AoE. And that technically gives us a little bit of extra damage every turn now. Okay, Bad Peach does not have an active turn, and I don't want to use an active turn with Mario yet. Or rather, Hero Sight turn yet, so he's gonna use Strongman now. Good, we got the damage boost. Perfect. We're doing really well so far. We actually got really lucky with the boost as well so far. We've gotten no zeros yet, and we still have a few more to use. To make this nice and safe, I should just attack first. So we do the damage to the depleter. And then we need to attack Uni. I just realized I could also start dashing this enemy. If I remove that, that'll be one less enemy to worry about stunning. But that's not going to really change anything. In fact, it's probably not really important that I do that. Alright. Let's not waste any more time now. Let's attack. Good turn. Okay, we're looking really good. We have 9 cooldown clocks left, but more than 10 HP still to go. Or under half of his HP to go. So, that's really good. Because we don't have any electric stuff yet. Alright, so now Rabbids will need to take a shot at something. And we'll use Freeze to make that happen. This time it's actually very important to do this, because the Giant Depleter is one of the most annoying bosses to deal with, he can't be kited like the other enemies. He will ultimately destroy you in the end if you don't do enough damage. I'm using a Freeze so that we have the chance to hopefully take that on in one shot. It did not work though. And yeah. In case you haven't noticed, we're using our sparks pretty much whenever we need to defeat a portal. Okay, since Moon cannot defeat a portal right away, have to split his damage this time. Actually, if this fails, it is gonna fail. We're gonna actually have to deal with enemies coming out of that. Oh, that's not gonna be fun. Well, we have a good HP sub, so they shouldn't hopefully do anything. The only problem is, since it's a summoner, it hangs where you take double the damage. Okay, now we have to use the cooldown clock, but before we do the turn with those, we need to mash to remove excess enemies.
Finally.
Okay. Because Rabbit Peach doesn't have anything, she can use the heal on the second turn, I think. Use a strong man on a different turn. Anyways, Mario, I want to be able to use strong man. Good. See why I want to destroy those enemies, though, with dashes, though? Having them constantly go each time can get a bit tedious after a while, so if we can dash them out, that means it's one less enemy we have to worry about later. Alright. I just realized I wasted the tap boost. That's not good. I said I would use it on only taking out the portals, and yet I did not set that up properly at all. So I'd have to use a strong man boost to make up for it. And there's, of course, the chance it does everything. Now, here's the problem. We don't have a guaranteed turn with Inez.
Please work.
So she has to just immediately nap time using this. And then we'll pass. Well, they changed the portal locations, but nothing else happened, really. Alright. I don't know why I used a boost with Mario, honestly. That was probably not smart to do. So I'm gonna do the normal setup that I did the past time. Actually, wait, no. It's not gonna work, because remember, that enemy is really, really tanky. So, like, we literally just need to destroy these portals, guaranteed. This is where having the extra tap power would come in handy. We would use the BAM to destroy both of those. Honestly, you know what? Hit this all. I want to make sure that I guarantee to get the portals done. We're gonna have to take this attack on purpose from Rabbit Peach, but is worth it, I think, in the long run. This should have been our alternate turn, honestly, to begin with. And we also probably should have removed this. So, in exchange for all that, we guaranteedly get knocked out of bounds, which loses us some damage, but we think it's worth it. Alright. That's what I'm gonna do every other turn from now on, though. And we're gonna have us just attack this. Mario has a freebie turn here, so he can do whatever.
Okie dokie.
And that gives us a free turn to use a couple of items if we want of our characters. Though we don't really have any use for any items except specific ones. So we'll have, let's use a cooldown clock. Then that way we have a setup for the next attacking turn. And Rabbit Peach uses healing this turn.
Healing journey.
And pass. Rabbit Peach, defeat this enemy for me. I will try to keep up the Skyrim shock from now on. We also need to back up our characters a bit more. This is just for FN's sake. It doesn't matter anything else. Red Peach does not have a buff to use. So I'm gonna have her do the thing. Strong man. I figured. It was gonna fail at some point. Why not now, at the very end, when so they need it. So we didn't get any damage boost there, unfortunately, but they're still good, because we can still take knots at the portals. We no longer have those things to worry about, so we should be fine with that. Then... what else? Oh, yeah. Mario does not use any sex. It's basic attack. Now, because we did the safety valve correctly, you'll use attack Uni. We have to go from this part, otherwise we won't hit the Wild Claw with our nap time. Rather not have him wake up, because he's definitely gonna nail us if he wakes up. Okay. Let's actually check now and see if we can get a safety. Oh. Funnily enough, the explosion still says it damages the enemy. So since we have a Swerve Fisher, we're gonna use that this turn. I think overall, this setup that I'm using will take a bit more turns to deal with. The good news is, it very much guarantees that we can get stuff done faster.
Please work. Here goes.
Okay, we got a few crits in there. Mario will buff up now. He doesn't need his attack thing now. Oh, wow.
Stand, will ya?
There we go. We took out the portals this time. That was a bit worrisome, but we made it work. The only problem is we don't have the Strun Man anymore for buffs. We'll just have to attack, attack, attack. I might have to just risk the AoE setup waking up the enemy. If it does wake up the enemy, I'll just do the cooldown and immediately nap time again and hope that Mario and Rabbid Peach can do the kills on the Veils instead. It could be risky, especially since Veils would be doing more damage. By the way, if you wanted to play safer, the alternative spell, and what I probably should have done, is give Rabbit Rose the buff that makes her attack more times, which would give her a higher chance of ultimately defeating the enemies. And then any more buffs could be thrown into Fit. But I didn't want to deal with it because this battle seemed really tedious at times. Oh, here we go. The idea is we add in exchange one of Rabbit Rose's other buff abilities to instead add in an extra attack, which actually helps out a lot overall, typically, for defeating these enemies. Alright, I'm gonna try my strat, I guess. I can't really afford to wait, so we just have to go on the edge and hope for the best. Okay, good, it did. Okay, not only did it work correctly, but we ended up defeating one of the portals right away thanks to our luck. So yeah, that's definitely the strat. Alternate between that and electric. I should definitely consider that. Fun fact, that works better than the AoE explosion. If I use the AoE explosion, the enemy guaranteedly wakes up, and that's bad. So now Rabbit Peach is gonna attack this. Mario does not have an active attack turn, nor do I want him to have an active attack turn, so we're gonna do that. After we stun, I also forgot to mention, after we stun the enemies the last time, and the enemy's almost close to dead, we can actually have Rose just immediately wake up the enemy with the Wake Up Slap ability. We might take some damage for it, but if we can defeat the enemy before setup happens, we'll win before that happens anyway. But we'll use this like we did before, and then we'll pass the turn. Let the enemies wake up on their own. And then, because this is getting close to the end of the turn, I'm just gonna boost now, so we have the extra damage. Perfect, we got Spark cooldown. That means we can actually use it on next turn as well, so with that set up, that should guarantee that we can defeat this enemy in time. Alright, now we just use the combo set, and because the enemy's weak enough, next turn we just use the Wake Up Slap buffed Rabbids attack to finish off the battle, and just like that, one of supposedly the hardest giant boss battles is turned into an absolute cakewalk battle instead. It's kind of hilarious, honestly, that this even works at all, but yes, you can do this strategy, and there we go, the giant enemy is gone, and just like that, one of the worst giant enemies just became a breeze. I think I just realized, I already have all the other enemies encountered. I think, for the enemies encountered, every single giant boss is gonna be forced to encounter. Anyway, we got Expedition Level 2 done for the first time ever. Finally. This one took a while, that's for sure. And of course, we unlocked our second skin. The umbrella. To save a bit of time, we'll jump straight into the first area, but we'll not do a battle on it.
Yes.
So of course we're gonna do Premium Level 3.
Very wise indeed. Beware. Think carefully.
And now we'll spawn in, but we won't actually do a tower. Okay, not a bad setup. We didn't have Rabbids, but wait, actually, we can check. So the reason why I'm not changing the regular setup, that's because, well, there is one specific thing I want to mention. Because of how much trickier the battles are gonna get, each of those giant bosses, depending on their RNG, could really destroy your game and pretty much cause you to fail. And we want to be able to defeat the giant boss no matter what it is. Because of that, Rabbids has gotten to the point where it's been a little bit of a requirement. So, if you're wondering why I'm not going in and doing the tap missions, or going in and doing that, well, there's a specific reason for that. That's because you actually, the stars don't matter, but you do want to check your characters and see which characters you start with. In order for the strategy I just showed on the giant boss to work, you must start with Rabbids. Because otherwise it might be hard to go out of your way to get her. If you don't get Rabbids, or hit Rabbids but don't have one of the princesses, i.e. Princess Peach or regular Rabbid Peach, then you will want to immediately say quit the expedition and then select the same level
Very
you just selected and
Think carefully. So be.
and you're pretty much just gonna keep doing this, and you have to check the menu every time too, because the optional character in the side, it changes as well. It's all random who you start with. If you don't see Rabbids in this, my recommendation is to reset right away. By the way, I just realized I don't think they could start you without a princess, or typically they do. I think I've had only one time so far where I haven't started with either regular Peach or Rabbids. So some of those will be different. But anyway, it doesn't matter though, because we need Rabbids to come out. Now, I'm not going to actually probably show doing this every time. I'm just noting that for people, if you are struggling with Premium World, then you want to make sure you just keep restarting the mission and reloading. And you have to do this pretty much until you get the answer you need. Don't do it immediately, too. Which character that goes into reserve is also random. And the idea for my safety strategy is, for the early game, you definitely want either Vader Peach or Rabid Peach for protection. If you don't have either of those, or don't have Rabid Rose at all, then you're going to reset the expedition. You pretty much want to keep doing this until your team includes at least Rabid Peach or Hero Peach. Not necessarily have to be both, just one of the two. And Rabbit Rosalina, you can work through it. And by the way, what strategy you will have to actually do will be different depending on your build. I obviously had Mario for that option, but if you didn't have that... Okay, see, like, right here, this is one of the best setups. Okay, I'm definitely keeping this, because this is actually the best possible setup we can hope for, at least for the boss battles. I know Rabbid Mario dishes out a lot of the damage, and Rabbid Mario in his own can actually take out the portals, so, yeah, we're definitely keeping this. I don't opt to go for Rabbid Mario all the time. I just happen to use him if he is available. But he's not certainly required by any means. Oh my goodness, we start with Ether right off the bat. That's a really good start too. Having Ether is really nice to allow Rose to sneak up on the enemies sooner and get them into the stunlock a bit sooner, which is always nice. So yeah. Alright, now that we've done that, we're going to actually end the episode here in this part. It saves whenever you start the tower. And you can force it to save by loading the menu. So, yeah. We're definitely keeping that one because this is going to make it go a bit easier. So, although we wasted around 3 minutes of our life doing that, I think it'll overall be worth it because, honestly... doing certain giant battles, specifically in the higher tier levels without Rabid Rosalina is really, really difficult, because then you'd have to rely on a lot of RNG to go your way, and it just doesn't always work. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, though. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.